Guys, what's up? Oh, now I'm recording. Yeah, guys! What's up? It's me, Kate. It's Date Fails. Alright, listen. First of all, I'm recording this at home. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is gonna be how I record this now. You know what? I had an epiphany. This is important, I think, for all of us. By the way, this is a solo episode, which I have to say, it's funny. Donnell was saying he tried to start his podcast as like a one person thing. And it's hard because you feel weird at first. Like, even now, I'm a little uncomfortable talking alone in my apartment. You feel like you're talking to yourself. And it's hard to get started. But then I feel like once you get started, you kind of start feeling like you're on the phone almost with a friend. So I want to do more of this because, okay, a few things. One, my podcast, it's been a struggle for me lately to do date fails, and I'll tell you why. Because one, I'm not dating a lot. Every time I do, I have some great story, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to tell it because I don't want to jinx the situation, or other times it's like another thing that I just messed up so bad that I'm like, this is starting to become just embarrassing that I'm so horrible at this. Although I know a lot of us are, which is why you guys are here, because we're all failing sometimes. Although I don't want to be negative, because we're all doing great at life and we need to be better at patting ourselves on the back and being proud of ourselves when we accomplish any small task, right? Like, what's an example? Today, I got a stain out of my couch. I Googled how to get tomato soup out of a couch, which, by the way, I learned things. Like, for one, they said start with cold water, then try dish soap, then hydrogen peroxide. That I did not know. They said pour a little on, let it bubble up. This is if it's a fresh stain. If it's a dry stain, they said toothpaste, which I also didn't know. Although I'm not sure if the toothpaste has like a stripe in it, like a blue or a red stripe, if that's still a good idea or if that would leave another stain. But anyway, the peroxide thing, I dumped it on before the podcast. So at the end, I'll let you guys know if the stain lifted. It did fizz though. So anyway, that's not the point. My point was, if you learn something small, pat yourself on the back. Like, yeah, you know, I'm old, but I didn't know how to get a stain out. And just because I learned now instead of at an appropriate age, like 12, I can still be proud. And I am. So yay me. And yay you. What did you guys learn today? Send me what you learned today. Let's make this about more than just dating, okay? That's been my struggle, is I want to talk about whatever I want, okay? I want to go off about whatever topic I feel in the moment is important. Like Lizzo's ass. I don't know how everyone feels about Lizzo twerking in a G-string courtside at the Lakers game. I don't know if you all even heard about this. To be honest, I only really heard about it because people were complaining. I woke up and there were like comedians posting like mean jokes about Lizzo's ass twerking. Twizzo. That should be her twerk name. Twizzo. Anyway, point is, then I looked it up and I'm like, okay. I mean, that's Lizzo. Like, who is surprised that Lizzo pulled some crazy shit like that? That's her whole thing is, hey, I'm big, I'm beautiful, I do whatever I want, I don't care what you think, your friends are in my DMs, I can do better than you, I'm a bad motherfucker. Like, and she's a genius because the next day she dropped a new video. So she was like the number one trending thing on Twitter. And look, if you don't like seeing that, you can look away. If you're upset that it's a family event, if that's what we're going to call NBA basketball, a family event. I mean, to me, that's not like Disney on Ice is a family event. If she had done that at Disney on Ice, maybe that would be different. Although, to be fair, every skater has their butt cheeks out at figure skating competitions. That was kind of my thing with it is, you know, one time I was at a mall. And as a joke, I rode the little choo-choo train in the mall with these little Asian children that were on the train. And I had on like a trench coat, and then partway through, I took off the trench coat and I was in a bikini. And I just pretended like I was just a little kid having fun in a bikini. By the way, I asked their mom's permission first, and I actually paid for them to ride the train with me. So everybody was in, we're having a great time. But when I got off the train, the mall security was waiting for me. And they were like, you can't stay in the mall, you have to leave. And I was like, well, I'll put my clothes back on. Can I go get lunch at the food court? And they said no. And then I was like, but I bought this bikini at this mall, so why can't I wear it? And they said, this is a family establishment. And as we were walking out, we were passing Victoria's Secret, and there's like humongous, photos in the window of Victoria's Secret of women in way more like sexy lingerie than the bikini I had on, which was just like a regular, just a bikini. And my point is, there's lots of things kids see all the time, everywhere they go, way more revealing than Lizzo's butt cheeks. So my point is, it's not okay for you to pick and choose when butt cheeks are allowed. Either there needs to be a hard stop, like a ban on butt cheeks in any public place that kids are allowed to be at, anywhere. Pools, should we wear shorts at pools? I mean, when do you decide? Should it be only adults get to wear? I don't know. Or butt cheeks are allowed. So that's just my take, Anyway, that's the point. I want to talk about whatever I want. I want to review makeup from the 99-cent store if I want to. I want to talk about, whatever's trending. But I felt like a little trapped in the date fails theme. So I'm just going to do whatever I want. That's basically my point, is that I'm still going to talk about dating, but I don't know. I feel like I'm growing up. I'm getting old. I drink NyQuil now instead of tequila, like 4 nights a week. And the other night I was snacking on Tums. So that's where I'm at in my life now. I just slowed down because people say I talk too fast on here. So I just purposely slowed down. Also, I'm sitting, if you watch this video, I'm really sitting in a not flattering way. All right, listen. I'm going to get to what I need to discuss because I only have a half hour and I have something actually important to talk about. First of all, I will tell you about my latest couple date fails, but I mean, it's the same old story where I think I'm dating someone who thinks we're just having sex with food. And actually, I didn't even think I was dating this person for long. I mean, basically, the moral of the story is a guy came to see me and we went out and we had a great time. And then we had sex. And then that guy was like texting me every day. This happened a little while ago, but I haven't talked about it yet. But I feel like I need to share with you some tidbit. But he was texting me every day. And then he wanted me to come see him for Thanksgiving. And then while he was here seeing me, like before that could ever happen, I caught him like flirting with another girl, like while he was with me. Like it wasn't anything serious. You can flirt with other girls, but at least be stealthy. Like, don't let me catch you, and definitely don't do it while you're with me. I mean, and not to be mean, but this guy is like, I was like a good catch for this guy. Like, not that I'm like an amazing catch for everyone, but for this guy, I was like, not that there's anything wrong with dating someone who works at like a Del Taco. Like, you totally should. If you like them, you should. Don't be judgy, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that guy was like a Del Taco employee type, and I felt like I was kind of a step. I just felt like for him to be flirting with some other girl on Del Taco level when he's with me, not that I'm above Del Taco, I sound like such a bitch. Just the point is, I was offended, and it hurt my ego. That's probably what this comes down to. It hurt my ego. And then when I said it to him, he was like, this wasn't dating, we were just fucking. I'm like, you came from another state and got a hotel room to spend time with me and text me every day and want me to come see you for Thanksgiving. That's not just fucking to me. Holidays, if you're fucking on a holiday, that's gonna be like an in-town fuck or a vacation fuck. That's not, if you visit someone for a holiday where either one of you live and like eat food and hang out with anyone but yourselves, to me that's like kind of dating. Maybe that's me, maybe that's a girl thing. Maybe guys, holiday fucks are just holiday fucks. Once I fucked a guy on Christmas, and I'm pretty sure after that he left me and had Christmas dinner with another girl and fucked her too. Like that was when I realized that if you're just fucking him on a holiday, that he probably is fucking someone else. But if you're spending quality time, like over food and friends or family, that's dating. Anyway, that's my latest date fail. That was a while ago, before Thanksgiving, like weeks before Thanksgiving. And since then, I haven't dated. I just have no desire. I've been so excited about work stuff. I think that's why. I went to New York for Thanksgiving. I had a blast. Did I hook up in New York at all? No. It's funny I have to think like that. Like I never have one night stands anywhere, but I had one in Vegas. Okay, like once a year in Vegas, you got to have a one night. I think once a year for a one night stand is probably a good quality of life situation for you all to embark upon. All right, I'm trying to get to the meat of this. This is a serious topic, so I'm like anxious about talking about it, but it's important. I want to talk about like guy-girl friendships when they start to become kind of relationships almost, but with no sex. And I feel like lots of us have had these. And I don't know why I never really felt like I had these until the last year or so. And now I suddenly feel like almost every single one of my straight guy friendships has turned into something where I feel like I'm walking on eggshells because something changed where I feel like they have feelings, but we're not a couple, but suddenly the whole dynamic is different and it's bothering me. So that's what we're going to discuss. Like, I'm going to get into this by saying I'm bummed about it because, and I know girls have this happen all the time, and I can see both sides of it, and the guys are probably going to, okay, let me just explain. I have a couple guy friends who I've been friends with forever. I have a lot of male friends. I also have a couple really good girlfriends, and then also some like amazing gay friends. The gay guy friends I have are probably like my best friends out of everyone. It didn't used to be that way. I used to have a couple straight guy friends that were literally like my closest friends. I would tell everything to, call in an emergency. Like, I love being one of the boys. I think a lot of girls do. I love when my straight guy friends invite me to boys' night, invite me to the strip club, invite me like anywhere all the guys are. It's fun to be a wing woman for your straight guy friends. It's also a great way to meet lots of hot guys. And as long as that dynamic is right, it's a perfect situation. But recently, I've just had like a string of situations where somehow a guy expresses that he has feelings for me. Like maybe the guy gets drunk, more drunk than usual. Or maybe, I don't know, like with one of them, I was seeing someone a little more seriously than I had in a long time. And when he found that out, he kind of had like he said, wow, I didn't think it would affect me, but I'm bummed about that. And, or with one guy, I made out with another dude in front of him, which had never happened before. And he didn't say it bothered him, but I could tell it bothered him. But then it was an awkward situation because I couldn't really say, it seems like you're being hurt by this or weird about this, because if I had, I know he would have denied it and it would have been embarrassing for him. But then at the same time, I know. So with this one friend, and it's happened with a couple guy friends in a row, which is really what's bumming me out, because I suddenly feel kind of like I only have one guy friend left who's straight, and the only reason I have him is because once it's Bronston, my friend Bronston, who's been on here. And it's because once we made out and Bronston said, when I make out with you, for some reason, you feel like a dude to me, which actually more than one guy has said, which I should be pretty offended by. But for some reason from him, I'm like, yes, thank God, because I want us to stay friends. Like, I think Bronston is one guy that could see me naked and be like, yeah, no, thank you. Like, not interested. But so this other guy, I mean, basically we took a trip together, but as friends, a bunch of us. And then on that trip, I hooked up with a dude and I felt like it bugged him, but I kind of said something to him, like, you've been a little weird since this trip. And he says, you're overthinking it, to me. But I know I'm not. You know, when you notice a shift, like since the trip, we usually text like every day or every couple days. Since the trip, no texting. Oh, on that trip, he actually left without saying goodbye. Like, we had different flights and he just took off, like Irish goodbye, which is fine. Everything he's doing, by the way, that I'm about to say, it's all normal things that are fine for someone to do. It's just that it's different for me and him. He has never done this stuff to me. So for him to Irish goodbye is so not normal. Or, for instance, he forgot my birthday. I mean, he's never forgot my birthday. He shot me a text like, oh, is it your birthday? Like later, but he knew. It was weird. And then like, the biggest thing is, one night he was out with the guys and I was in the mood to meet up. Like, I was leaving work, I was leaving a show and I was driving home and I texted and said, I'm out in Hollywood, where are you at? And he said, I'm headed out with my boy, we're all going to meet up. And I was like, oh cool, where at? I'm down for a drink, which I used to never invite myself. But then one time he was like, you can always invite yourself with us, like you're one of us, like you're part of the crew. So when I said that, I just thought he'd name the spot. And then he waited a while to answer. And then he said, oh, it's kind of just the boys, which again is fine, except in all the time we've been friends, he has never done that. I was honestly so hurt. Like, it really hurt my feelings, but it's fine for someone to say that. But in that scenario, it hurt my feelings. And I didn't want to call it out right there, start anything over text, but so I said, okay, cool. And then I said, but I told you things have been weird since that trip. You've never said to me it's a boys' night in all the years we've been friends. And then he was like, well, that's not what I said. He said, I said it's just going to be boys. But I knew what he meant. I don't know. It's still making me sad because this is like, the whole reason I never dated this person is because I never wanted to fuck up our friendship. And now I feel like it happens either way. So I guess my question to you guys is, like, I've always thought guys and women can be friends, but I'm starting to wonder if, can you not be real friends, platonic, if you're both straight and single? I don't know. I can't decide. Because now, that night, he just said, like, I didn't say that, and then I said, that's what you said, but it's cool. I'm going to go meet up with my buddies at a gay bar, which I did, and it was fun. But it's weird, and I haven't talked to him since then. And now it's like, ugh. And it's happening with multiple male friends where it's just, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Guys really do have fragile egos. And it's interesting. I'm trying to figure out how to write a bit about this because it seems like a champagne problem. Like I was telling Donnell Rawlings the other day, like we were talking, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. We were talking, and I was saying to him I was frustrated because I was at a party the other night and I was talking to a guy for like a half an hour about how frustrating it is when every guy that you try to be friends with or maybe have a business meeting with or try to work with, they all eventually hit on you or ask you out. And Donnell said, you're going to complain when there's a day that no one asks you out. And I was like, I don't know though, because I know it's a champagne problem and I know the grass is always greener and I know it's like obnoxious to be like everyone hits on you and everyone hits on me and it's annoying. But at the same time, in some ways, it would be better to not get asked out because then you know, one, you're getting everything based on merit. You know, all your friendships are just really legitimate, or your business relationships or whatever. And also, you don't have to worry about hurting people's feelings. I feel like I'm in this constant like yo-yo between trying not to hurt someone's ego, but keep them thinking that like there's a chance so I don't hurt their feelings, or also so they'll still work with me, but also not make them think I'm interested because I don't want to lead them on. It's like so difficult. But if you just say, like the few times that I've just said straight up, like, look, I feel like you feel something I don't, it can really wound their ego, and they never talk to you again. Or they tell you you're totally misreading it and they have no interest, which then you feel embarrassed, like, oh, now I'm like, now I think this, I'm arrogant for thinking this guy would want to bang or whatever. That's a vulgar way to put it, but you get the point. So I'm curious about your guys' feelings is where I'm going with that. And man, this podcast is going to be so short. I don't want it to be. I want to talk about more shit. I'm at 20 minutes. I have a show, guys, just so you know, which is why I'm making this kind of short. But you know what? I don't mind, because right now until the end of the year, I have no sponsors, and I would rather pump out like 20, 30-minute episodes for you. Because lately, oh, that was my epiphany. Duh, I got back to it. Okay, great. This is good. My epiphany was, and my friend Aiden helped me with this. I said to Aiden, I said I haven't been doing date fails as much lately, and here's why. Because I feel like the episodes haven't been as good. I also am trying to do it on my own more so that it's easier to do, because I'm sharing a studio with lots of people otherwise. But I feel like when I do it myself, the sound is never as good. The quality is not as good. I don't always have video because the studio, I mean, look what I did. This is so janky, but it's going to get better. And Aiden said to me, he said, do you ever think, Kate, because I've noticed this with you, that you're such a perfectionist. You want the quality of everything you do to be so perfect. So instead, you never do it. Like my album that I recorded, I wasn't happy with like 2 or 3 of the bits. So I didn't put the whole album out because I was like, I'm going to re-record it because I want it to be perfect. And he's like, so instead you sit on it. And he's right. And it really hit me. When he first said it, I got defensive, which actually is funny, because I was thinking that whenever someone calls you out on some shit and you get instantly defensive, if your first reflex is defensive, probably they're right and you're wrong. Because think about it, like whenever you call someone out and they get like angry right away before they take it in, usually it's because you hit a spot. And he's right. That is my weakness. Like I'm so obsessed with everything being good, and I'm sensitive, so I don't want to go read my YouTube. I don't read YouTube comments often, by the way. I mean, I'm trying to more because I want to engage, but YouTube is the one place that people will hurt feelings, at least my feelings. Also Reddit, I don't get on I can't fuck with Reddit. Reddit makes me want to cry sometimes. But anyway, so I don't do things sometimes, and I think that a lot of us do that. So that's one of my resolutions for 2020, is to not worry so much about looking perfect, the quality being perfect. Like if the audio is not perfect on this, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. But I think it's better to give you guys content than to wait for it to be perfect. I also think I should never podcast sitting down like this again with my crotch wide open from this angle. See? But it's all a work in progress. And if you're only listening to the audio, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Also, I bought these flamingo decals, you guys. Dude, these are awesome. I forget where I got them, but I'm going to put them all over the wall. I was like, why am I not I'm going to make this corner like beachy pad corner. I think I'm going to bring in the kiddie pool even. Maybe sometimes I'll join a Hollywood pool party up with date fails. That's my point. I'm just going to start doing whatever I want. Fuck the plan, fuck the standards. Fuck if my makeup's running, if I have a cold, if I sound like shit, whatever. If I'm sitting with my crotch open and my outfit doesn't match, that's what you get. Let's just be real. I did put on a lot of heavy concealer because I'm a little hungover from the Comedy Store Christmas party, which, by the way, hilarious. I'm at the Comedy Store Christmas party the other night, and there's this male porn star there. I won't name who. I've met once, very briefly. And as I'm at the Comedy Store Christmas party, I get a text from this guy. I wanted to post it, but I didn't want to embarrass him. But I don't think he listens to my podcast. But he texts me, and he's like, hey, I'm at the Comedy Store Christmas party. It's so lit here. If you want to come, I can probably get you in. And I was like, this is really sad. This is the trajectory of my career that this guy thinks he has to get me in. I was already there. That's when I knew it was time to leave. I was like, I'm sneaking out right now. But it's been party central. Christmas is coming up. I'm going to Ohio for the holidays. I'm going to do a lot of podcasts there. I do want to say that if you can donate something to someone for Christmas, even something really, really, really small. When I was a kid, my mom was very poor. I mean, my family, poor is a hard word to use in America for anybody because none of us are really poor, but, well, some people are poor, but I mean, like, homeless people are poor, but we didn't have much money. We lived in a wealthy neighborhood. I was always embarrassed. We bought a house in a wealthy neighborhood, and then my dad left really, really, really quickly after, and my dad quit his job, and so my mom got no child support. And the point is, she didn't want us to have to switch schools, so, you know, we were wearing like hand-me-downs, and we got picked on a lot. And for Christmas, we didn't have a lot of toys or gifts or whatever. But I remember there were these neighbors of mine who were like just really good people. And a couple times one time I told this story on Donnell's show that's coming out, so I won't tell it exactly. But one time, someone even snuck in our house, like after my mom had gone to sleep, like someone who had a key, which a couple neighbors, you know, have a spare key or whatever in case, and snuck in and left like extra presents under the tree. My mom didn't even know what was going to happen. I'm not saying break into someone's house and leave presents because that could get you arrested or shot, God knows, in this country. But those things made our Christmases so special. So if you can do anything at all, definitely do it. I mean, I'm like the brokest I've ever been this year, which I know is hard to believe. People think like once you're verified and have followers, that equals money. But like, you know, this business can be hard. Times are tight for me too, but I'm going to do the best I can to give some things to some people who need it, donate a gift, you know, give blood. I'm big on giving blood. And I'm out of time. This was a really short episode. You can consider it a bonus episode or whatever. I promise to do another one this week. But I wanted to give you guys something. I love you. I'll put this on my YouTube also. I'm going to start putting content on my YouTube. Woo! So this has been a quickie, a Date Fails quickie. Ooh. And I'm going to do more Periscoping too. So I'll hop on Periscope later and say hi to you guys. But I'm going to put this up right now. Ow! Bye, fam. Woo!